Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. If you guys have stopped by for the first time, or maybe you have stopped by many times, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, huh? Hit that like button, that thumbs up. That's always good for, the algorithm, I think they say. So, I don't know. I always get people who are like, hey, man, make your thumb art a little bit better, your thumbnails a little bit better. I mean, like, maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll get there, dude. Right now we're kind of keeping it grunge. We're keeping it underground right now. We're just putting text over this ugly mug. Maybe every once in a while we'll put a picture in there or whatnot. But I got a couple things I want to talk about. Speaking of graphics, the Miami Heat warmed my heart today because admin, shout out to them, they have co-signed my Pelle Larsson name. This Pelle Larsson, I mean, handsome fella. Let's be real about it. Sweden, dude. I mean, that's a good looking crew. But this guy draped with the Swedish flag gets the little cosign from the Miami Heat. Swedish Swish. Hey, glad to see it is broken through the mainstream. Every once in a while, dude. Every once in a while, I'm a bit of a volume shooter, but every once in a while, the old franchise would be like, Tobes, you're onto something there, dude. I know. But happy for it. Again, I've said enough how I'm looking forward to the Eurobasket. Excited about all these guys playing some international ball just to kind of see everybody in action, man. I'm jonesing for it. Can't wait for it. We had it last year. We had Bam Adebayo in the Olympics. We had Jovic in the Olympics. We started getting going with the Olympics. And this year, it's almost like you got to be a little bit more patient. Mostly, it's just people on vacation. Don't even have anybody doing some, what's the word? Subtle shade on Instagram. None of those posts. None of I did see though Kel'el Ware riding a camel, which I mean, quite frankly, that's awesome. I mean, he's out there. The camel looks like he's having a good time. I did see that Pelle Larsson posted like a rascal on Kel'el Ware's Instagram. I know that camel is dying, which I don't think is. I feel like the camel should be just fine. Aren't camels known to carry big luggage over the desert? Isn't that the magic that is, of course, the sand horse or whatever the hell camels are related to? One hump, two hump. Who knows? Hump day. But Kel'el Ware looks like he's having a good time out there in Egypt. It's been nice to see the international travel that's been going on as this Heat team gets ready and raring to go. I did want to mention this because I was out on vacation last week and took a couple days off, but I saw something that was in the ether that like annoyed me, and it was Daryl Morey sticking his beak where it don't belong, where he was weighing in on the finals run in 2020 of the Lakers and was talking about how he's like, it's a legit championship because if I would have won the championship, I would be celebrating it, but people don't look at it as a legitimate championship. And I'm like, what a cowardly cop-out from this Daryl Morey, who, by the way, why are we listening to any standard of championship from Daryl Morey, whether it is from him directly or from his sources about anything? Daryl Morey should be sitting here. He just gave a boatload of money to Joel Embiid, who we're getting reports every single day about how terrible his knee is doing and that he's maybe never going to be physically the same, which is terrible for Joel Embiid. But, that is the move that Daryl Morey put out there. And then also invested in Paul George, who hasn't exactly been the barometer of health throughout his career. And somehow was sitting here and got rewarded with a third overall pick. Go figure that out. You want to think that things are fair. But, I was like, Daryl Morey, shut the hell up. If you want to put an asterisk on anything from that year, it is quite obviously not the bubble, but the fact that Goran Dragic and Bam Adebayo got hurt in the finals. That's where the obvious asterisk is. But I'm so sick of the bubble thing being brought up left and right. If you want to talk about the facts of what actually deterred what led to the Lakers of being champion, go with what was actually on the court, not the fact that they were playing at Disney World, okay? Secondly, and I cannot stress this enough, the Faker Championship was the next season because all of the teams that have basically been good for this half decade all stunk the next year in the playoffs because they had no rest and a quick turnaround on all of their rosters, and nobody was able to do anything in the postseason the next year. So I'm tired of it being a debate. I certainly don't want to hear from Daryl Morey, Mr. Loose Goose Floozy over here, who was sitting here and his idol, James Harden, who was always his numero uno, then ends up back at, I will say, James Harden, I've seen some pictures from China. Whew. Not exactly on that Luka plan. Neither here nor there. My point being is Daryl Morey being out here discussing, what's a championship? What's that? Who the hell is Daryl Morey to bring this into conversation? Whether he said it, people that he's talking to said it, do it. Just zip it, lock it, put it in your pocket, Daryl Morey. I don't want to hear it anymore, okay? Shh. And if you want to mention asterisks next time when it comes to the bubble championship, do it correctly and say the Lakers only won because Goran Dragic's foot exploded. That's the real answer. Anywho, getting back to the Miami Heat in international play. Norman Powell been doing a lot of media rounds. I was reading today a fantastic interview done by the great Anthony Chang of the Miami Herald. Shout out to Anthony Chang. Shout out to Ira Winderman. Go check out their work in Anthony in the Miami Herald and Ira Winderman in the Sun Sentinel, respectfully. Really the only reason I have subscriptions. Those are the guys I'm checking out on my apps. But first off, shout out to Ira, because in his Ask Ira today, he was like, somebody asked him, this wasn't even a question. He just stated to Ira, Pat Riley hates LeBron James. Move on. And that was from Mitch. And Ira responded to Mitch and said, no, he doesn't. Pat Riley in 2025 is not the same Pat Riley who got blown off by LeBron James at that Vegas hotel in 2014 free agency. They'd have repeatedly shown an ability to put the past differences aside when it comes to the greater good. If LeBron can find a way to go back and play for Dan Gilbert, Pat Riley certainly can offer and embrace if needed. And I was like, oh? Really? Ira Winderman, you rascal. Listen, I was like, this is the greatest answer to Ask Ira I've ever had in my life. Thanks a lot, Mitch. I appreciate you bringing that out from Ira. But they both had some great stuff on Norman Powell. But I was excited about this because he explained to Anthony in his piece what went down with the Haywood Highsmith decision to get number 24. And I was like, it seemed like there was some negotiations that went on here to get his beloved number 24. If you guys didn't see it, Norman Powell is wearing his 24. Haywood Highsmith has switched to number 8. For those who missed it, maybe you were enjoying your summers. But he was talking about the players who had reached out to him. And he said, Bam has reached out to me. Davion Mitchell has reached out to me. I've had talks with Haywood Highsmith about the jersey, and we were able to get something done for me to get 24. I know Jaime Jaquez from UCLA. I know Wiggins. So I know a few guys on the roster. I'm just excited to put my stamp on the organization and get with these guys. And so he goes into it basically talking about it. You guys can go read the whole article, but he basically says that they had a little, he was thankful that Haywood was willing to do it, gave him respect. He then mentioned that he did this back as a rookie with one of his players, that he gave up his number, but that there was some kind of a negotiation that went back and forth. He wouldn't reveal what it was to Anthony, but something got worked out. Something got worked out. So that was pretty cool. And then this piece was nice, where he talked about you guys remember that he had this workout with in Las Vegas, where he lives, in the off season. And I guess he was supposed to go to the facility on Monday, the team facility. He's looking for maybe a place to live, get settled down, because he's with Team Jamaica right now, but they're training at FAU. And he had talked about, if you guys remember from Summer League, the team, the coaching staff, Spo, and a lot of the staff that was out there went and watched him work out. And he said, I've never had a turnout like that for a workout. It was awesome. All the staff, front office members coming to watch me work for the first time since the trade. I didn't know that they were coming to the workout, but just going to the workout, them sitting there and hearing them talk about what I'm doing, it was great. It was a great workout for me, and the support shows how much they're excited to have me on the team. It's definitely welcoming for me to be embraced like that and to have the staff there in the front office. Spo is one of the greatest minds in the game, and he remembers shots and stuff that I've made against him during the season. It's like there are so many games. How do you remember that? But it was definitely cool. So he seems pretty pumped up. I'm really excited to see what this Norman Powell thing is going to bring to the Miami Heat. You know, it's been discussed as like a new dynamic for Miami, but from Bam and adding a little bit of sizzle to this team, making them a little bit more interesting, dynamic. Spo had talked about that the team needs to be a little less predictable to figure out. So I'm hopeful that is that is going to happen with the addition of Norm to this team. But he certainly seems jacked up for it. I think that's a pretty exciting thing. You know, like, no shade, but like Andrew Wiggins getting dropped in the middle of the season, he was kind of just here, pro's pro. And I know there wasn't a whole summer to get giddy about it, and we haven't even really heard anything from him since. All we've seen like one video of him at the gym shooting some buckets. Like, he's a man of mystery, this Andrew Wiggins. But Norman Powell, he's just been doing like a bevy of media because of the Team Jamaica thing. And so it just seems more active on social media too. So you just get more of an insights, different ways for different guys. But certainly with this team, we've talked so much about what they haven't gotten. This guy seems genuinely excited to be here. He's got an opportunity to make an imprint on the team. Maybe they find that he is the extent. He's obviously got a very high opinion of himself, and has these aspirations of becoming an all-star. Thought he should have been. Thought he was, slighted last year in not being an all-star. And now he comes to an East that, is a little bit more open as far as the opportunities. I mean, hell, who knows what that East. Now you have Joel Embiid, who's going to be hurt again. I mean, who the hell knows what this East squad is going to look like this year? So exciting stuff from that side of it with Norman Powell. And as we lead into to his first season with the Miami Heat.